So not to the point where she should, I'm gonna, not at the point where I would normally quite have this smooth, right? You'll see a difference with Oakley. Back. So that goes back, and step in. Apply pressure. And I continued asking her to bring that head down. Giving back to her whenever she got light with her head, but ready to ask her again if she brings that head up. So if the head comes up, even in motion, I'm going to ask it to come down. So I'm going to do that again. Back. Step over. So she did throw out her nose a little bit at the end there, so I probably, if I weren't trying to teach this at the same time, I probably would have went right back into it and said, nope, that's not the answer I want. But unfortunately, I'm trying to teach it and move between chairs and the camera. So I'm going back, forwards, back. Good.
So Laura, as a rule, it seems like you're teaching head down, then the movement,
Yeah.
like almost in everything you're doing.
Yeah, head down as much as possible. That's when I want to relax. I want to reward that relaxation, and it's posture focused.
Right,
Because when the head's up, they're hollowing out their back.
right.
She's not going to be rocking back on her hindquarters if her head's up and she's trying to just get away. The other thing too, if you try to get the head like this, so she, while she's moving, and she's moving away, but she's not putting her head up. Unfortunately, she's eating a leaf. She's like, finally a snack. She's like, I'm starving. I've been out here so long. If her head's up, what happens, what I've seen happen more often than not, is the shoulder lags behind.
Mm-hmm.
And the head starts to go, and the shoulder stays there.
Yeah.
And even with the head down, you can get that a little bit. So I'm gonna back up. Now eventually I can fade a little bit, but. So she put her head up there a little bit, so she's fighting this, I'm just gonna say, no, that's not the answer I want. There. Not a perfect cross yet, but it will be. Seems to have done this. Alright, back up. Again, you can fade away the backwards and say no. Good. So I got 2 out of there. Usually after about 3 days, I can usually get rid of the back. I think about trying to fight that. So she's trying to walk forward, so I'm just going to back her up and walk forward. I'll back her up.
Do you find that you stick to a time limit, like I'm gonna work her for this amount of time and that's about as much time as I think she'll be able to handle, or do you just go?
I go out there with a plan,
Mm-hmm.
and my goal is to achieve that plan. Sometimes I have to alter that plan.
Okay.
But the other thing too, is I'm also really good at not drilling something. So I'll go out and make sure that the horse has the concept. And I'll stick with it as long as I can to make sure that they understand, so that tomorrow when I come back, that they understand. That might be 15 minutes, that might be 20 minutes. However, once they understand the concept, I don't spend a lot of time on that same exercise the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Day 2 is like this. Well, let's try this a couple of times. Great, they just got 2 in a row, they weren't perfect. I wouldn't want to do 2 in a row today, but, necessarily I did, but, I'd be like, okay, let's do that a couple times, let's get maybe that 3 times. Done, moving on to something else. I'm not gonna hammer it. She's gonna learn a lot better and more effectively if I say, I'm just looking for little wins. And then I can go out there and I can spend an hour and 15 minutes, or even an hour and a half, or 45 minutes, whatever, half an hour. Sometimes I've gone out for a half an hour, whatever it is. Now, a good timeline is 4 exercises that they're learning, 4 brand new exercises in about an hour. Day number 2, so if you were doing this from scratch, day number 1, number 2, and number 3 are all gonna look the same. It's probably gonna be about an hour if you do 4 exercises, plus your desensitizers, right? Then day number 4, you start to implement another new one. So it'll be exercise number 5 in the program. And exercise number 5 is gonna take a little bit longer because you gotta show concept. You gotta teach them the concept. But exercise number 1, like